Welcome to the Whitetail Advantage Podcast with your host, Brett Bovin. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
What is up, guys? This is Brett Bovin, and welcome to the motherfucking electronic campfire. Now, before we officially kick things off, we have a couple things we want to say. First, we are not politically correct on this show. We speak our minds, we're unafraid, and we're unapologetic. We cover topics not just in hunting and the outdoors, but topics in society, and we speculate what's true and what's not true, and we discuss how we, the people, need to fix these problems. Now, we conduct a live show every Sunday and Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel. Our Sunday show, you're going to get more of our round table segment where we bring a guest or sometimes just the team, and we cover a variety of different topics, kind of our more laid back, have fun with it type show. Tuesday show is our more serious type show where we cover state specific, bring a guest that lives and hunts in that state, and we ask them a variety of different questions, basically trying to get a good grasp what's it like to hunt in that state. We love to conduct these live shows because it gives everyone out there a chance to interact with us here on the show. And we always encourage everybody to comment questions or whatever you want to comment. We just encourage everybody to comment here during the show. We have a blast when everyone's interacting here with us as well. During the show, we also have a couple of segments. Johnny's segment, Hunt, Befriend, Kill, or you're going to have Squatch's segment, What are things not to say to a game warden? Like I said earlier, we are not politically correct. We speak our minds. We're unafraid and unapologetic about it. Now, we don't run ads during the show. However, we did create our own little 2-minute little commercial break. It's our chance to kind of kick back, get a good drink of water, good drink of beer, whatever, put a dip in at that point. But basically that commercial it's 2 minutes. Giving the promo codes for discount codes off the people that we work with, the companies that we work with. So make sure to stay tuned in for that. As always, we want to take a second to say thank you to all of our men and women in the military. Thank you for your service and thank you for your sacrifice. We also want to say thank you to all the police officers, the firefighters, the nurses, the doctors, the corrections officers, everyone in public service, construction workers. We want to say thank you so much for your service. We are greatly appreciative of that. We also have a saying on the show, put your quarter in the slot machine. What I mean by that is to help share a show. I strongly believe hunting's a dying sport. It's a dying lifestyle. And no matter what we do, it's just going to be phasing away. So we need everyone out there to help grow the show, help spread the word. We've been having a lot of people reach out to us saying that they've been putting their quarter in the slot machine, helping grow the show, and we are greatly appreciative of that. We can't say thank you enough to everyone out there. We're not just building a team here. We're building a family here at Whitetail Advantage, and everyone that's been a part of this family from the start up till now, it's been an amazing ride, and we want to continue this, so make sure to put that quarter in the slot machine. Last but not least, no excuses, just hunt. Now let's kick things over to the guys and let's really kick this live show off. How's it going, everyone? It's Tuesday, February 18th, and tonight we're covering the state of West Virginia, and we have an amazing guest representing West Virginia. I don't know about you, but West Virginia is on my radar. It's in the top 5 of a state that I need to get my feet out there and start hunting, because Maryland's number 1 where it's like that sleeper state, but West Virginia has been creeping up there. I'm not going to lie. Tonight we have everyone from the team. We have Dave, Johnny, and Squatch, or AKA Randy Man Savage. And like I said, tonight we have Wyatt, West Virginia. So enough of me talking. Let's bring everybody in. How's it going, Dave? Squad.
What's up, fellas?
Johnny.
What's up?
Wyatt, how are you tonight, my man?
I'm good.
Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come on the show, brother.
Nah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, guys.
So we're going to start off with a little fun game. It's Johnny's segment, so I'll let him take over from here.
Yeah. All right. So this game, hunt, fight, and befriend. You get to hunt one animal. I'll give you 3 different animals. You have to hunt one with a bow, fight one with like a club or a bat. Then you have to befriend one with like treats. See what you're gonna get, right? So, for Wyatt, you'll go first. You have a polar bear, a lion, and a warthog.
Polar bear, lion, and a warthog.
We try to throw some random animals out there for you.
Wait till you get to Brett's.
Oh yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with you said kill one.
Yep.
I'd probably have to kill the. I hate to do it to Pumbaa, but I'm gonna have to kill him. The warthog. I think I'm gonna have to kill him. I'm probably gonna have to befriend the lion. And what was the other one? The polar bear.
And hunt.
I'm gonna hunt the polar bear.
Right on. Yeah. All right, Dave, you ready?
Yep.
Got a Nile crocodile,
Oh, geez.
an anaconda, and a golden eagle.
Oh, well, I definitely. I want to hunt the crocodile.
All right.
And what was the other one? I remember golden eagle.
Anaconda.
Yeah, I'd fight and then befriend the anaconda and fight the eagle. Or yeah.
See, I would do it the other way. I would fight the anaconda with like a stick and just like beat it. Then you'd have a golden eagle on your shoulder as a pet. Like, that would be
While he's laughing at you while you're getting freaking crushed.
right. All right, Squatch, you ready, brother?
Yeah.
All right. You have an emperor penguin,
Yeah.
a bull moose,
Mm-hmm.
and a rhino.
All right. So I guess I'll friend the rhino. I'll hunt the bull moose?
Yep.
And what was the last one? I forgot already.
An emperor penguin.
Oh, the emperor penguin. Yeah, we're killing him. We're killing
Right
him.
on. All right, Brett, you ready?
Yeah, Justin's Johnny likes to beat snakes.
The one-eyed kind.
All right, Brett, here you go. You have a panda, a koala, and a German Shepherd puppy.
Because he's got a German Shepherd.
Yup. One of those cute, cuddly animals can get clubbed to death by you.
See,
And
that's
then
what
you
I
have
always
to
get.
hunt
I don't get the exotic animals like you, Wyatt. I get the cute, cuddly, or squirrel-like animals.
Panda is from China.
I'm glad he took it easy.
Yeah, a koala is from Australia. Like, those are clearly exotic animals. No,
You get chlamydia from the koala bear.
yeah.
I'm befriending the German Shepherd puppy because I have a German Shepherd dog. Oh man, a kill and hunt between a koala and a panda.
Kill the dude.
One of them's gonna beat with a stick. Which one?
I gotta kill it with a stick. That's so
Yeah.
brutal.
He'll beat the koala bear to death with a stick.
I'm just sitting there trying to eat its eucalyptus.
That just sounds so wrong. On like PETA's probably watching this shit right now. Talking
There
about
goes our Australian viewers.
All right, fuck it. I'm gonna go with kill the koala and hunt the panda.
Kill the koala.
beat the koala with a stick.
That's like Ford Fairlane. Remember? He's,
Yeah.
What do you think? We killed a koala. Oh.
Yeah.
That's just wrong on so many levels.
I'm actually starting to kind of feel bad for him, but then again, no.
So then what we'll do is every time I do it, one of us will get the cute cuddly list. And-
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's going to rotate. All right.
Yeah. Back
Okay.
to Brett.
Great.
All right,
It just rotates back to Brett every
That's
week.
right.
Yeah, Johnny beating the one-eyed snake and Brett rotating. There we go. Just
All right.
perfect.
Let's just take
Oh.
a second and look at how stupid the Squatch looks like. Now,
Oh, yeah.
Wyatt,
Old
can you
Macho
give a
Man
little
from
background
Squatch.
about yourself, brother, for people that might not know you?
Yeah, so obviously I'm white. Yeah, so I'm part of a group, Sirius TV. We do a deal. We have a YouTube. They're part of a bigger company, Sirius Outdoor Group. But yeah, well, I grew up hunting and fishing. Anything in the outdoors, I'm 365. Some people say it's an obsession, addiction, whatever it is, but there could be worse things you can be addicted to. So
That's fact.
Oh, yeah.
I would much rather it be the outdoors for sure. So if there's any chance I can get out, I'm usually out and about, shed hunting, fishing, any of the above, coyote hunting. I mean, I do it all. It's like I said, it's 365 for me. So and I love probably a lot of people don't like the process a lot of times of all the prep that goes in before the hunt, and I might enjoy the prep work. If I could do that for a job, food plots and hanging stands, running cameras and all that, I probably enjoy that almost as much as the kill. And I feel like a lot of people, they just want to kill stuff, and I love killing stuff. I mean, I'm the doe killing king. I feel like call me Kip Campbell. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle for me. So it's awesome to be able to talk with you guys, and you all share that same passion for the outdoors and hunting and the outdoor industry. So it's pretty cool to have a lot of guys like get together and talk about what's going on in the outdoors and everything really. So
Nice.
I have a question here from Justin. He asks, Wyatt, have you found any sheds this year?
yeah, I found a couple. These right here. I brought these. I thought that might come up. So this is one of my
Wow.
target bucks here. I found
Nice.
the match set. He should be pretty nice.
Yeah.
I gave him the pass this year. He started kind of coming late. I got a ton of pictures of him, have history of him from last year. But I had him as like a 3-year-old, and I was like, he was coming. He made it through the rifle season, and if you can get one to make it through the rifle season here in West Virginia, when the Orange Army hits the woods, usually you're okay. And he was a homebody, and I just basically didn't hunt the whole month of December because I knew I was going to kill him. I mean, he was coming 2-3 times a day. He was on the food pattern, and I could have killed him easy. I mean, it just I just didn't go on him because I knew if he walked by, I wasn't going to be able to pass him because he's a pretty nice deer. So usually if it's in the if it gets my blood pumping, everybody wants to shoot the 150s, the 160s, or 200-inch deer. Well, like we have great deer in West Virginia, and we have some counties, and we can get into it later. We have bow only counties in the southern part of the state here, and that's unlike a lot of other places. So you can get into some of those counties, and I mean they're shooting 150 pluses consistently year after year. There's a ton of people that are killing big deer, but I tell everybody, everybody wants to shoot a 150, but if you don't have 150s and all you have is 120s and 130s, then you hunt the 120 and the 130. Like I have certain farms that I have a ton of land that I have access to, I lease, or I have permission, or family, friends, whatever. And, each track's a little different. I don't have those farms. They're not all, I'm not going to shoot 150 deer on majority of those farms. So, my target buck on that particular farm, it might be a 120. We get 2 tags here in West Virginia. So if I basically play the cell cam game, I love cell cams. I know it's a lot of mixed reviews on cell cams, but I work a ton, and for me, it's a way to get out and scout without having to be in the woods as much. Because I do a lot of my stuff at night. I'm hanging stands at night. I'm running cameras at night, feeding at night, the whole deal. So I just don't have a lot of daylight hours. So I got to capitalize, when I can get in the woods. And what I've done a lot here in the past, and a lot of the guys will tell you that I'm friends with, that they're like, oh, where are you going to hunt today, Wyatt? I'm like, I don't know. Let me check the cameras. Because if I may have I probably have, I don't have 2,000 acres, but I've got access to 15 to 1,800, give or take, usually consistently each year. And that's all private land, not counting any public that I do here and there. And you know, I may not hunt a stand. I haven't hunted some of these farms in 3-4 years just because I haven't had a deer in there worth shooting. You know what I mean? Or that I wanted to shoot. I had deer. You know, I might have had a deer in there, but it wasn't as consistent as I had on another farm. So there's no point going in there and wasting my time when my time is valuable anyways, and I have very limited time to get in the woods. So I just try to kind of bounce around and do that. And it's paid off the past several years, you know, being mobile and just moving and hunting where the deer are and not where you're hoping they're going to appear.
Yep. I have anyway out there listening, let us know if you found any matching sets. That's what I was trying to say. I have 2 questions for you, Wyatt, from Michael. The first one is, whereabout are you located in West Virginia? And his other question is, what kind of cell cams do you use?
Yes, I'm in northern West Virginia, originally from the southern part of West Virginia, around the Beckley area, about an hour an hour north of Charleston, West Virginia, the capital. And now I'm in Buchanan, West Virginia, so I'm about an hour south of Morgantown. That's one of the bigger cities. And then I run a lot of reveal cams, Tacticam reveals, but also a good friend of mine runs Blackgate cell cams, and I've been kind of dabbling in those, and I've really like what I've seen out of those so far. So definitely.
You say Blackgate?
Yeah, Black.
Yeah, a friend of mine runs them. Runs them too. They're actually pretty decent.
Yes. So far I'm a big fan. Their data plans are a little cheaper. I mean, you can get a $3 a month plan. It's limited. Yeah, it's limited to so many photos. You know, it's based on like a photo breakdown. But if it's not on a feeder, you know, if you're on a trail or you're on the edge of a field or something, I mean, that's all the pictures you really need in a month. You know, you're probably not getting more than 500 pictures in a month on a trail usually. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. Kind of cool setup.
Cool.
How long have you been hunting now, Wyatt?
Oh boy. So I guess probably, I'm 29. It's probably 20 years, I would say. I think nice. I probably killed my first deer when I was 8 or 9, probably. My grandpa shot my first buck. It was a button buck. My mom, I remember a funny story real quick. She told me if I shot a buck, I could get it mounted. Mm-hmm. And so I shoot this button buck, and I was so proud of it. I called her. That was before cell phones. My grandpa had this bag phone, and we go up to the top of this mountain to get service. You have no service here in West Virginia, most places, unless you're on a ridge top. So we go to the top of this mountain. We get service. I call my parents. I'm like, hey, guess what, Mom? I shot a deer. It's a buck. She's like, oh, great. We'll get it mounted. We get home. She's like, where's its horns? I was like, look, just feel right here on top of its head. This thing still has milk on its nose. I mean, it was tiny. And, it was a fawn. It was really a button buck fawn. And it's funny because usually speaking of sheds, it would grow every year because I'd wedge sheds in between the ceiling and the mount on the wall. So it might be a 7.1 year and 8 points the next. He might grow up to a 9 the next year, and I'd mix sheds in, and he would grow year to year. So,
that's a Michigan 11 point.
Yeah, that's what we call them. West Virginia 11 points, the old sticks right there.
Out of the 20 years that you've been hunting, what's the biggest thing you've learned so far?
Oh, great question.
Not to tell other people where you hunt.
No, I mean, it's probably the biggest thing I've learned is be open-minded. Probably, you know, not say, oh, I'm gonna hunt a certain way. You know, like you may need to hunt over a feeder if they're coming to a feeder. You may need to hunt trails if they're coming trails. You may need to get mobile. I mean, not to be like dead set on hunting a certain way. kind of be, I guess, adapt to what the deer are doing is probably the biggest thing I've learned.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, I think it's opened up more now these days to new styles.
Yeah.
You know,
It has.
like when Squatch and I grew up, you either hunted 30 feet in the air or you hunted on the ground, and that was it.
That's about it. Yep.
You know?
I do like to get high. I like to get up there. I'm your closer to 30-foot guy. Like I don't like to be. I mean, because I still film everything, so most of all my stuff I'm moving. I got stuff moving everywhere. I got like 6 different camera angles, and I know Connor, the guy that has all our footage for Sirius, he always jokes with us, "Oh my God, how many camera angles you get on this one, Wyatt?" And I'm like, I don't know, 5 or 6. So but I figure if I miss it with one, I'll catch it with another one, and we can make something of it. So that's my theory in the whole thing.
Question from Michael. Pop it up right here. What else do you hunt besides deer?
So I turkey hunt. I don't call myself a turkey hunter. I hunt turkeys. I can make them gobble every now and then. But I'm not a big time turkey hunter, but I love to get out there. I bear hunt. I actually shot a bear this year. That video is up on YouTube. We have a lot of bear here in West Virginia. So a lot of people, they don't consider West Virginia like a bear state, but you can't bait or anything here. We got a lot of guys that run them with dogs and stuff like that. But this one, I was hunting in the stand. Nick come off an oak flat, and I was able to shoot that. So I do a lot of coyote. I do a good bit of coyote hunting.
Me too.
Yeah, that's about pretty much. I don't do a lot of small game. That's one thing I don't do. There's a lot of small game. I'd rather be deer hunting. Usually bow. Not a big rifle guy. I like getting it done with a stick and string. I usually hunt with a bow during our rifle season. A lot of my places are thicker places. I don't have a lot of, 500-yard shots. I mean, usually if you're going to get a shot, he's going to be within 100 anyways. On most of my places, unless I'm hunting a field. So, I mean, I'm not afraid to reach out there and touch one with a bow either. So if he's 70 yards or in, I mean, he's probably going to get an arrow in him. So, not to say it might be in the leg or something, because I've been known to pull a shot or two in my day. But I'm a decent shot though. So I feel I practice out that far. I got a full range here at the house, 30 some targets. So I mean, I shoot all the time.
Nice.
So,
Michael says he wants to hunt coyote one time.
Michael,
I
you got to
haven't
come
hunted
up.
coyote yet. I know Squatch he loves coyote hunting. That's his thing.
yeah, we need to go. I got the thermals, the suppressors, the whole.
I got to buy a thermal. I got a ATN right now that I use, night vision.
Man, I'm telling you, thermal it changes the game. Like
I got a thermal monocular, so I use that to pan around, but I don't have the thermal scope yet. But
I got the monocular. The thermal, I will tell you one piece of advice that I will, and I will say this is the only thing maybe that I've ever seen that this is true to.
Yep.
Every dollar you go up, you can see a difference in the thermal. If you go up $500, you see a $500 difference. I promise you.
Yeah.
I've had them everywhere from $1,000 one upwards. I don't have no $15,000 setup or nothing like that. But
right.
I've got a pretty good one. And it man, the difference that you see, you think one's good at $1,000 one, and you jump up to a $5,000 one, and you're like, holy cow! It's like we're real time here, and it looks like daytime. I mean, there's no different. Like it's wild.
What thermal do you run?
So I run a IRA Rico V250.
The 250 or the 350?
This is the 50 millimeter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, objective. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that Rico is tough to beat. Now, I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there.
I've been looking at I've been looking at the Ricks. I've been checking out their stuff. That looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, there was a new one just came out. I had a buddy of mine that just got one. I think it's I can't remember which one. Don't quote me on it, but it's a newer one. Has the rangefinder built in.
Yeah.
One thing I don't have on mine is the rangefinder. Got to get it has an attachment that clips on the side, and that's one thing I do have to get is the rangefinder because that makes a big difference too. Because at night
It does.
It's tough unless you're out there all the time and you're used to judging that yardage. I mean, you might think one's 150 and it's like 350. You know what I mean?
What I like about the ATN with the night vision is after it snows up here, I'm in the Northeast up in New York. I've noticed with my thermal, it picks up a lot of humidity and it's kind of really blurry to look through. And that's probably the cheaper thermal that I have. Mm-hmm. But the nice thing about the ATN at night, crystal clear, man. And I'm telling you, I run a decent illuminator on it too.
Right.
No problem with target acquisition. I mean, I can tell you the difference. It's a fox at like 150, 200 yards. And I can tell you it's a coyote or I can tell you it's a dog. But that's the nice thing I like about it because I know a lot of guys bump some stuff off that they shouldn't with a thermal. And I'm thinking it was a coyote. It was a little.
Yeah, the cheaper stuff you can't tell. Like I have an ATN Thor.
Yeah, you got the Thor,
and I like that because you can record.
I record all my videos.
Yep,
with that.
yep.
Awesome,
now I want to get some new goggles though because I have some Goon Gear AVN 750s goggles.
Yeah,
but those aren't really for hunting per se. But you could use them through a regular scope to be able to see through. But
yeah, that's probably my next thing. I have the monocular, the scanner. But I think I want to go to the helmet. One, they just look badass. So I definitely got to get one just because.
That's what I got. That's why I got it.
I've got to get one of those because I went with my buddy the other day, and he works for Farrell, Texas Outdoors. He's a sales rep for them, and he gets all the new gadgets and stuff. And he's got this helmet, and we roll out. It looks like some Black Ops mission, and I'm like, yep, gonna have to upgrade to one of these now. So. Thanks for showing me this. And so,
it's nice. Yeah. It's nice having that availability of something hands-free because I know with me, I pan around a lot with the AGM. I'm panning, and then something will come in quick, and I got to chuck that down and grab that gun up,
right,
and get on target. And it's hit me a couple times.
Like when we were going, he was scanning as we're walking in. Like I have to stop, because I have an AGM too. I think the AGM. I can't remember which one.
256. Maybe you got the 256.
Mine's a 20-something, 21, 24.
Okay. Yeah, that's 256. I think that's 256 to 24.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I've got. So it's the one that's a little more zoomed in. Yeah. Probably went with the 19, something a little bit had a little bit wider field of view because I'm not hunting big fields. I'm hunting a couple 100 yards on most of my sets. Is a pretty decent shot. You know what I mean? So I probably should have went with something a little backed out, and then once you pick up the heat, then you can get right on the gun. So, which I will tell you, I got an adapter while we're on the coyote subject here. Adapter because I didn't feel like paying $700 for a tripod, so I got the Bog Death Grip. But you buy the adapter, the ball head adapter that goes on top of that for $200, and you've got just as good as a $700 one, and you got.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
That's the way to go if you're just getting. I tell anybody if they're just getting into it, like 100%, just go get a bog pod and be done with it. You know what I mean?
What do you use electronic coils?
Yes, I run Lucky Duck.
Okay.
I got the Lucky Duck right, maybe. I think.
Okay. Yeah,
it's not their best one. It's not the worst one. So great. So
I run Fox Pro stuff. I like it. I've had really good success with it. I
was just trying to go something different. You know, everybody you know.
Yeah.
What are they running?
Yeah.
Fox Pro. You know. I just wanted something. I thought the sounds would be a little different, and they are. They have different. You got different sounds.
The tones are different. Yeah.
Well, I download different stuff. MK calls or whatever they are. I download his stuff to my caller because I can upgrade it. I upgrade it all the time with different, the zipper zip files
Right.
on that, So I added a lot on it, so it's not the same stuff, And just as well as I do, sometimes like there's no 1 or 2 calls at work all the time. You got to change it up for the time of the year that you're there.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's pretty cool. I enjoy it, man. Through the winter when there's nothing else going on, I go out, shoot fox and coyotes, and
Yeah, and it's great because you don't have to have daylight to do it. You can you can work
like
all day and then head to the woods.
I
So
do.
it's just
Yes, these guys, man, they'll tell you, like, Squatch, what are you doing? I'm out coyote hunting. Holy shit, it's like freaking 10 o'clock at night, man. Yeah, I'm still out.
we stayed out till like 3:30 the other night.
Me too, man. I'll stay out.
This morning, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna roll on to work here.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
I have 2 questions from Michael. His first one is, what thermal brand do you recommend? And then his second question is, what do you think is the best state to go coyote hunting? I want to try it someday soon. I see all kinds of videos about it, and they make me want to go so bad.
Well, Michael, you can come up. You're not that far from me. If you can get up here, I'll take you anytime you want to go. You can hunt with me. As long as you got the permission, you want to come up, you got your license, I'll be happy to take you out, bro. You'll have a freaking blast. You're only maybe an hour and a half, probably closer to 2 by the time you get up here. You got an open invitation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's your weekend trip right there.
I would suggest for him to go on ATN's website. It's like I bought my Thor. They're like $2,500. I bought a reconditioned one off their website for like $1,500.
I mean, the AGN rattlers, the rattlers are good.
To get started in it, to get a decent one.
Yep.
I mean, you can get the reconditioned ones for a decent price.
Yeah, they're like, I think Optics Planet runs like a sale on them, like $8.99, $7.99 on some.
Yeah, Optics Planet does it too.
Yeah.
But if you check ATN's website, they'll have like closeout deals, and they'll be like their refurbed ones. They'll refurbish, and then they'll just rebuild them and then sell them dirt cheap.
Yep.
Why, I want to ask one question before we start diving into your state. You've been hunting for 20 years. Mental toughness and mental strength is not talked about very, very much as it needs to be in hunting. There's a lot of downfalls with hunting because you shoot a deer, you miss, or you shoot a deer and you can't find it. There's a lot of low moments in hunting that we don't talk about as much. Out of your 20 years that you've been hunting, what's the biggest downfall you've had in hunting so far that you were just like, man, I give up hunting. I can't do this anymore. And what did you do to overcome it?
Oh, I mean, probably early on, honestly. Just not seeing the deer. Putting in the time, you're just not seeing them. But I didn't really have, my grandpa, he got me into hunting, but he was, let's go grab a McDonald's biscuit and let's go sit in the shooting house. And we see one come by. But, he got me into it, and then I fell in love, and I couldn't get enough of it. But, my dad didn't really hunt. Like he rabbit hunted and stuff when he was a kid growing up, but he didn't really deer hunt or anything. So I didn't really have anybody to really get me into it. So it's just what I watched on TV or whatever. And, sometimes you can't always base it off what you see on TV. Cause I'll tell you, I film and you can script a lot of stuff, and nobody really knows. I mean, you can't tell anything. I mean, a lot of stuff is what you see is what really happens with a lot of stuff that we do. But it's not hard to script stuff and make stuff look a lot easier than it really is. And you don't see all the stuff that comes before. So probably I would say early on, because, I remember I was honestly just telling this story the other day, to somebody that I would hunt. I remember when I was probably middle school, I would hunt we get all Thanksgiving break off. I would hunt daylight to dark every day and maybe not even see a deer. And I was setting all day sets. I was like, I set 6 in the morning till 6 at night or whatever, daylight to dark, and not see one or one will bust you. And then it wasn't until I started paying attention to the wind and scent control because I just didn't know. I didn't know. You know, they talk about it on TV, but you don't really think about it. Like, oh, I got a northeast wind. I'm going to go hunt the stand over here on this side of the field today. Well, I didn't know any of that stuff. So when I started paying attention to that, and I don't remember what year it was, I started paying attention to like, okay, I'm going to like start washing my clothes right and do the whole process, pay attention to where the wind's coming from, and, you know, hanging my stands based on that. And, man, I started seeing deer. I was like, holy cow, this is awesome. I saw 6 today, you know, I saw 7 deer today, you know, and now I think I went, if I don't see a deer, I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, what in the world? I think I only went one sit this year, and I didn't see a deer, and it was because a snowstorm blew in, and I got like 2 inches of snow dumped on me, 3 inches in a matter of like 2 hours, and I was like, this sucks. Nothing's moving. But that was, yeah, I would say early on that it just not knowing, and once it clicked and I started to pay attention to some of the little stuff, then it starts like, man, you're starting to have some success. Like, you're actually seeing some deer. And I wasn't seeing giants, don't get me wrong. I mean, I was doing good to see like a spike, but I was happy, you know. So yeah, that just the evolution of the whole thing, like how it's progressed over the years. It's wild, really, when you step back and start thinking about it.
What are you personally doing to try and find mature deer or try to find consistent deer?
Property hopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, you can't kill them if they're not there. So
Yeah.
It's like I said earlier, you're not gonna kill a 150. There's no 150s around.
That's right.
If the neighbors are shooting them as a 6-point, and they can't make it past the 6-point, then you probably ain't gonna shoot a 150 on that property. You might get one in the rut and he cruises by, but you just waste your time. Like, and that's like I said, you know, I don't have a lot of time, and I think that's why I've been more successful here within the past 5 years or so, is because I quit just devoting all my time to like, I know there's a giant in here. I wanna hunt it, and then you don't see any deer. And there's somebody else has a podcast, and it's been a reel going around. The guy says like, I can't remember his name. He's like, I'll take all the 120s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and you can go shoot the booner. You know what I mean? Like,
I think I've seen that video.
Everybody wants to shoot the booner, you know, but I'm not going to hunt for like 7 years and not shoot anything, because that's just not what I'm about. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm trying to shoot the most mature deer I can.
Right.
I'm not out here busting 2-year-olds. I did year before last on accident. I mean,
all right.
He come running in, and I swore, and it was a great video. You got to go on your YouTube and watch it. But yeah, I thought he was a stud. I was like, oh yeah, 120 boys. Called him up and said, yep, I smoked him 120, and they had an hour drive. They come help me with the recovery. We get down there. I'm like, oh, he busted his rack off. We hadn't busted one side off. And now his horns are just under the leaves. I was so embarrassed. Oh my God. I was sick. I was like, oh my God, I just burned a tag on like this like 50-inch deer. And I swore it was a 120. Swore. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. But ground shrinkage, it happens.
I've done that.
I think we've all done it.
That was the first one that I was like, oh boy, this one, like, I mean, he shrank 60 inches, 70 inches. Like, it was that big a difference. I was like, you can't even look good in pictures. Like, I was stepping back off of him probably 10 or 12 feet in the pictures to make him look big. And some people I know, they commented on it and be like, probably should have stepped back a little farther on that one. And I'm like, yeah. Probably should have. You're right.
Everyone does it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question from Michael. What is your favorite animal to hunt?
It's going to be deer. It's gonna be whitetails. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be whitetails. Although I did get to take a trip to Africa. That was a blast.
Okay.
Yeah, that was. If you got the money, you can shoot it over there. I mean, I was like, I had a price list in the blind. I was like, well, if this comes in, I can't shoot this, or this. But if this and this come in, I'm golden. So I was, man, it was a blast. I'd love to go back. It killed a ton of stuff. Killed a warthog, impala, blessed buck, golden wildebeest, sable bull, an eland bull, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
And
You did that all with the bow?
Yeah, and a monkey. I got to kill a monkey. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but oh well.
You shot a monkey?
Yeah, 50.
Shit!
Probably the monkey was my favorite kill, and I have a picture. I just haven't posted it because I was like, Pete will get me. You know what I mean? But
You're gonna get slaughtered on the internet if you post that one.
Oh my gosh, it was the best shot. And it was not even with my Arab. So I shot this eland first thing in the morning, and Seth, the owner of Sirius, he was out on a hunt, and I was back with the guide. He was another guide. So me and the guide, we were just shooting bows there at camp, and he's like, let's there's some monkeys. They just popped up, and he's like, it was like African squirrels, like they're just like a nuisance.
Yeah, the little ones. Yep.
Yeah, the little ones. And so he's like, let's go put a stalk on them, you know? And they'll see you coming for you could blink and they'll see you coming 300 yards. Like, it's crazy. And so we get in this barn and we're videoing this whole thing. And I have this whole hunt, we're putting this big African stalk on this little monkey that's 5 pounds. And so anyway, long story short, we were in this barn. This guy's got these grain bins, and they were coming in and robbing these grain bins. Well, they go running out of the barn. They hop up on this fence. Well, I could draw back. He's like, it's 48 yards or something. And I'm like, okay, that's poke. It's monkey. And he got down and climbed up in this tree, and he's like, 51 yards. And he's like, just put it right on the fence, because they had this barbed wire fence that come across. And I just settled the pin right on the fence and squeezed it off. It arched right in there, right between the eyes, just clocks him. He falls back out of the tree like this. I was so pumped. And the guide on the shot, he goes like this and moves the camera down to watch the shot. And I missed the footage.
Oh, man.
I was like, I said you had 2 jobs. 1, to put me on the monkey. You did that. 2, to get it on camera, and you failed. The most important one.
Yeah, no tip for you.
Yeah, I was like, man, you dropped the ball on that one.
Dang.
I said we're 6 for 6 on everything else, but you dropped the ball on the monkey, man. I mean, I have to let you go on that one.
Oh my gosh,
that would be cool to see.
Yeah,
it was awesome. I got some pictures. I can send you some pictures of it, but I can't.
You gotta send me pictures because I gotta see this shit personally.
Oh yeah, I gotta see those.
Yeah, I'll send them.
Before we run our little commercial break, does anybody have any questions personally for Wyatt? No. Let's start jumping into some state-specific questions.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and here are our promo codes if you want some discounts.
Hey, go ahead and season your meat with something great. Try Flavors of the Forest Raw Garlic Dust, made with only the finest ingredients for the finest wild game. Go ahead and use promo code Whitetail to save 15% on your next purchase. Go check them out.
Hey guys, how are you? It's the Squatch from the Whitetail Advantage. Hey, listen, have you guys tried rec broadheads yet? Well, if you haven't, you're really missing out. I've been shooting rec now for over a year, and I'll tell you what, they fly straight, they fly true, and they're deadly, deadly on a deer. You can get the HXPs, you can get the FX4s, or you can just get the regular HPs. Guys, take it from the Squatch. The guys here at Whitetail Advantage, you can't go wrong with the rec broadheads. If you tune in, you watch our show, you can use the discount code for rec, WA15. And that'll give you 15% off your purchase. And you guys tell them that the Whitetail Advantage and the Squatch sent you. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. The show's going to be great. Squatch out.
Hey, you guys have a passion for the outdoors? You faith-based and love bow hunting? Go check out Bow Addicts. It's BOWADX. Genesis 27:3 says, "Take your bow and a quiver full of arrows. Go out into the open country to hunt some wild game for me." While we all love to go out and hunt wild game, we'd love to also wear it and represent what we believe. So go check out Bow Addicts and use promo code WHTADV10 to save 10% off your next purchase. That's WHTADV10 at checkout. Tell them the Whitetail Advantage crew sent you.
What's the terrain like? Let's start off there. What's the terrain like there in West Virginia?
Steep, hilly.
Steep?
Yeah, very steep. There's nooks and crannies and draws and finger ridges, and it's super easy for a deer to hide. And I mean, they can skirt you, and they can be within range and skirt you, and you never know they're there here, just because it's thick in a lot of places. Not everywhere, you know. We have farmland and stuff like that too, open fields, but majority it's a mountainous region. And you get into some of these countries, and I mean, it's not Colorado steep, nothing like that as far as like the altitude and stuff. But I mean, you're getting on some slopes. I mean, you're crawling up and down the hills, and I mean, deer we call them mountain deer. I mean, you shoot a mountain buck, and I mean, there's some of these places you can't get back into. You hike back into them. We got a lot of timber lands, a lot of timber companies own a lot of property here. Some big tracts that you can get on some leases and some stuff like that. I mean, some of those deer, I mean, they might go half their life and never see a person. I mean, there's some places here that man doesn't go a whole lot, you know. There's just because there's no real reason for him to be there. So it's super hilly.
We have a good question here from Justin, but we forgot to get Squatch's segment and what not to say to a game warden for you there, Wyatt.
You want me to do that now? You're going to do it now?
Yeah, that's what I just fucking said.
Oh, all right. You said you had a question from Justin. You
I said we're going to get to Justin's question after your segment. We took over your segment. Okay. Listen with your ears. Gosh, take the sunglasses off.
He was thinking about crawling up hills here in West Virginia.
I tell you, we drove through West Virginia to go out to Ohio this year.
Yeah,
we saw a guy with a slammer on the freaking back of his truck. It almost caused a car accident. That's how big the deer was. I mean, it was a monster. I forgot what road we were on, but it's one of the major, you know, highways out there, and it kind of meanders through these ridges and stuff. And then, you know, we were like, wow, this looks like a really good place to hunt if we ever came down here. And sure enough, there's a guy with like a 160 on the back of his truck. We're like, holy crap. And the car next to us is in the median. They're like skidding off the road. And
yeah,
my son and I are like, oh, look at that. You know, I was like, hey, keep it on the road. Keep it on the road.
Yeah.
So we do a little thing here, what not to say to a game warden. So I'll hit you up with a scenario like I'm the game warden. You can give me some stupid answer or whatever, and we'll see how it goes. So, Wyatt, I noticed you got a little bit more, you know, fish on your stringer that you're supposed to have. How the hell did that happen?
Well, I would say that the stringer's in the water, and I didn't know they had hooks baited on them, so they how they got on there. But I've only caught 2 or 3 today, so I don't know how the rest got on there.
All right. Well, here's another one that's probably up your alley that you might have to talk to a game warden about. Wyatt, we noticed that you were using your thermal not for coyote, but for deer at night. Over bait. What do you have to say for yourself?
Over bait too, thermal and bait.
I'd say
what's wrong with that?
I was feeding I was feeding the raccoons, and the deer were coming in and stealing the corn. So I was just trying to protect the raccoons.
That's right.
There you go. That's a good answer, my man. Good answer.
It sounds like he's done that before.
Right? Yeah, well, you know. All right, so there's one more. We're going to give you one more out of the old segment here. Wyatt, one of the tribal members while you were in Africa said that you shot a monkey. What do you have to say for yourself about that, Wyatt?
I said, well, he was stealing too many bananas, I guess.
And that's the end of the segment. Thanks for playing along. It was pretty damn good.
Oh, that was funny.
That was awesome.
Question from Justin: why do you hunt old mine areas?
Yes, I do. Not as much as some buddies I have. There's a lot of old mine areas in the southern part of the state. A lot of those bow only counties. I know some guys. I mean, they spot and stalk them just like out west, like you would do a deer out west. I mean, they'll put a stalk on one, wait till they bed, and put a stalk on one on these benches, these strip benches. But I do hunt a lot of mine. There's a bunch of mine, reclaimed mine. Most of the mines here, it's different mining that was done in the southern part of the state. You had a lot of mountaintop removal in the southern part of the state. So you get these big, vast strip jobs, and they're wide open. And it reminds you kind of out west. They're man-made, and they've knocked the mountains down. But here they did more. I don't know the exact name for it, but you'll see these big high walls. They come in and basically cut the whole side out of a mountain and
Strip
left
mining.
it. Okay, so they stripped a lot of this, and so a lot of that's not. Some of it's been reclaimed, but a lot of it's not. So you can get on those strip benches, and I mean you can do really well, especially if you can get a place where you can plant some stuff, because clover usually grows about anywhere, and it grows really well on those strip benches. I know with my work, do a lot of pipeline work, and a lot of the areas we have trouble getting vegetation to grow, we go to is clover. So that's for sure worth hunting if you can get in a place like that.
Nice.
John, I thought you were going to ask a question.
Oh, yeah. So, what's your style of hunting? Are you like a mobile hunter? Do you saddle hunt? Use climbers?
All the above. So I have a lot of presets. I mean, I might set 30 stands or something. Maybe just throwing a number out there. I might put 30 stands up. I may only hunt 6, and then I'll mark. Now I've got into the saddle hunting. I run Latitude saddle. I know there's a lot of other great companies out there, but we run Latitude, and I've really gotten into it here lately. On a lot of ground or a lot of places, instead of going in and hanging a stand, I might hang stands around a food plot that I have, or a field edge, or on a feeder or something. Somewhere you're going to go there and you're going to hunt multiple times. Maybe I'll throw stands up where I think I'm going to spend the majority of my time, just because it's easier for me self-filming if I'm in a stand. I don't do a lot of ground blinds. I have certain ones that I have to do ground blinds because I don't have a good tree to get a saddle in or a lock on. I don't do much out of a climbing stand now. I'd rather just run a saddle.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a little lighter for me. And one thing I don't do on a saddle, I don't run sticks on a saddle. So I run tree gas. Most all my ground's private. Majority of it. I have sticks if I go in public. Yeah. So I run tree gas just like you'd climb a telephone pole.
Yeah.
I mean, you strap on your boots, you shank up the tree, you put your platform up. You got to be very careful when you're taking these off, because if you drop a spur when you're up there and it hits the ground, I mean, you're gonna have to slide down the tree. So very, very meticulous when I take those off and put those on in the stand.
That's when you have an extra set in your backpack.
Well, they get heavy. Then you run into, you might as well just carry the climber. So they're pretty heavy, but you're still running like 5 pounds for a set of for my gaffs are about 5 pounds, something like that. So you can strap them right on your pack. I wear my saddles in usually.
Yep.
I don't hike miles, but it's just one less thing you got to carry on your pack. Usually I'm loaded down with camera gear anyways. So then another thing I do with saddles, so I'll mark trees instead of hanging stands, instead of hanging lock-ons. I'll mark trees. So I'll mark stand trees and I'll mark saddle trees. So on my Onyx, I'll mark the trees that say it's on a trail or it's in a pinch point or a saddle or something like that. I'll mark that. I may mark that as a saddle tree, because if I'm only going to go hunt it maybe once or twice during the rut, I'm not going to waste my time hanging a stand there. That's why I really like the saddles now, because on those certain places I want to be mobile. Like for instance, this year I picked up a new 600-acre tract, had a big pipeline that ran, I could see 1,000+ yards. It kind of meandered up the mountain, and it's side hilled and switched back or whatever. But I was able to glass. I got on the edge of that pipeline and I glassed. I hunted this one stand I think twice. Was seeing all my deer on the other side. They were all coming from the other side. So the next set, boom, I move across the holler, and I'd already pegged a tree with the binos. The hunt before, slip in there. And I had a buck read the script, come right in. He was a 3-year-old, one I wasn't really wanting to shoot at the time. But just for instance like that, it just, being mobile and saddles have really opened that up. You can do the same thing with a lock on. I'm not saying you can't carry one in or climb or whatever. But for me, it's just lighter. It's quicker. I've gotten pretty slick at it with the tree gaffs. And a lot of people, it sketches them out. They're like, oh, you can't. It's no different than if you're hanging on the side of a tree going up with sticks. You're probably more secure with the gaffs in the tree than you are.
Oh, absolutely.
Not.
Because the tree would pretty much have to come down.
Yeah. As long as you sink them in good, and it's not great to. Sycamores are not good to climb. Smooth bark trees. The best ones to clean it up is like a poplar.
Yeah.
Nice and soft.
You don't want a shell bark hickory, I'll tell you that. But I definitely run gloves. I don't know if you run saddles or not. But I definitely invest in a good pair of gloves. Yeah. Like I got some. It's almost like wide receiver gloves, but they're work gloves. They got this like grippy stuff on the hands. And man, when you're climbing a tree, especially when I'm gapping up a tree, you don't tear your hands up. And the first thing I did when I got a saddle, didn't have no gloves on, and not saying I got working hands, but you go sliding and slipping on bark and hides coming off of you. You're just not that tough. So
tears you up.
Yeah, I busted all my knuckles the first time. I was like, this sucks. I'm not hunting out a saddle ever again. And I was like, well, maybe I'll get a pair of gloves and it'll be okay.
Wyatt, let me ask you real quick, if that's all right with our producer, if we got a couple seconds here. What cameras are you running? I do a lot of filming myself with the hunting stuff. Got the YouTube channel. I just picked up a 360, camera and stuff. I got a couple junkier things. I got on a cast, so it's kind of like a GoPro. But what are you running?
Yeah, so I run three GoPros. I run 3 GoPro 11s. Okay. That's what I'm running, the 11s. I upgraded to the 11s, and they come out with the 12s, and now they're the 13s. I don't even know, but I run 2 on the bow. I run 1 great angle it's on the riser, pointed back at the hunter, so it gets the whole draw cycle. It's a sweet angle. Then I run another one on the stabilizer that's pointed out at the animal, and I only run that one just in case I can't get it with my main video camera.
Right.
It's a good backup for anything. Yeah. Then I run all Sonys. I run a Sony A6600 mirrorless as my interview camera. I run Rode mics. I think I run a Rode Pro on that one. And then I run the pod mics. I can't remember which ones I run. Then I run for my camcorder. It's a Sony. I used to run an AX53, but I upgraded to a. I I'd have to look at it and see which one it is. But
well, you're spending the money. Yeah,
I've upgraded. You know, I started where I started low end, and then each time I tried to upgrade, and now I've got a pretty good setup where you're shooting 4K, and it's as good as you need. You know,
it's like the thermal. It's like the thermal, man. You just the more money you spend, the better the camera you get.
Yeah, I mean, if you want something that's a good, crisp quality, I'm going to tell you to get a mirrorless for an interview type camera. A lot of guys run them as their video camera. I'm not as good with the controls and stuff on them. Okay. You know, I want something with the remote so I can zoom in, zoom out real quick. Everything I have is run off remote. So I need to do a video on how my whole setup. I did it one other time. How I set everything up in the tree, camera positions, all your remotes. I've got all GoPros are on a remote, so I push a button, they all pop on at one time. I'm not reaching up above because I run a third GoPro. Usually I try to get it up behind me.
Yeah, that's what I do with mine too. Yep.
It's shooting down on the hunter, and I've got a couple cool kills where you can actually see the light knock hit the animal out in front of you. Just where they come in, they're at 7 yards or something by chance, and you get the whole thing. So that's another. I usually always try to run that other second angle too, because I've got my interview camera. It's always usually off to my right hand side, so I'll try to throw that GoPro up on my left or off to my left side, kind of up above, shooting down. So you just got some different angles going on, and it makes for editing. It's a little tricky, but like I said, our guy, it gives you a lot of options. You know what I mean? Because I've had also GoPros not turn on when you hit that remote for whatever reason. Only one kicks on.
Yeah.
Well, if you were just banking on those coming on, you didn't turn on all the other. You would have missed it, and you don't have that shot. So that's just what I do. You know what I mean? It's probably excessive. Cool. It's a little overkill, but a lot of the saddle stuff. I've quit taking the mirrorless and I just go with the GoPros because the GoPros now, if you're in that GoPro, like even the GoPro 8, where you got the image stabilization on it, that's what I had before. I had like 8s and 9s, and then I upgraded to all 11s.
Yeah.
But we could geek out on camera stuff, and I had zero about camera stuff. All I know is I figured out what I have.
Hey,
I'm always telling my buddy Connor, I'm like, hey man, what settings do I need to run? I think I messed something up. How do I change my ISO? Yeah. How do I do all this stuff?
Oh yeah, man.
And, but anyway, so it's
cool.
Yeah.
Do that video, man. Post it up. Do that video what you're setting up.
See that.
And I want to check that out.
I may have one in my archives that I have, but if not, I need to do one. Set it up. It just and I don't, like I said, it's my setup. It works for me. And I would tell anybody that's self-filming, because I get a lot of people asking, oh, how do you set up your stuff? How do you set up your stuff? Well, that's how I set it up, but it works for me. You may be like, oh, this sucks. Like, I can't. How do you even do that? But like it's like anything. You have to find something that works for you and your hunting style, and you do it every single time. So when you get in the tree and it's dark, you set everything up exactly the same every time. And you make your sets so that it sets up that way. You know what I mean? You don't have a set that you have to change 6 different things to make it work. Just you got to look for those sets that work best for you. I'm not saying you always get them, but that's what I do. I try to pick sets that I know are going to work for filming. You know what I mean? And that's what I need.
The nice thing about that is, like you're saying, it's not for everybody, or your setup. The joy of watching other people do stuff is you can take a little bit of something from that and apply it to what you do and make it work. Or you might see something that you didn't think, was there that you did. That's why I say, put it up, man. Even if it doesn't work for me, I still want to see what you're doing, because you might have one thing that would work for me, and would turn the light switch on, and I'd be like, okay, cool. I can use that. But
Michael, I got a question for you from Michael. I want your answer before I give it. What Dustin said. He asked, Wyatt, what would you say to a game warden if he asked you, why do you have a rifle during archery season?
Great question.
When's coyote season run for you guys?
Coyote season runs concurrent.
Okay.
You just
All
can't
year.
shoot at night. You just can't shoot when coyote season full open season.
All
You
year,
just can't shoot at night. So, I mean, I would say I was coyote hunting. You know,
Well,
for the coyote.
Dustin commented, Michael, he'd say it identifies as a bow.
Exactly.
That's another good one.
And then the game warden say, "Well, I identify you as going to jail."
Yeah, I identify as a pair of handcuffs.
Yeah.
Michael asks, what's your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so our YouTube channel, it's going to be Sirius TV. If you look up Sirius TV,
I think I'm actually
SIRIUS.
following that.
Yeah, there's a lot of how-to stuff. They do a lot of tech stuff as far as like air building and stuff like that. Like I said, I am with Sirius Archery, so they, they're an air company, and they've kind of branched out, and they have Sirius Archery Group now, so it's an umbrella company. They do tough head broadheads, MVP quivers, Sirius arrows. I think they have Sirius wraps. They have their own arrow wraps now. They're coming out with some other cool stuff too. So here.
No, what bow do you shoot, man?
So I shoot an Expedition. So I shoot the X-Lite 31.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I used to be sponsored by Expedition, and then I'm not any longer, but I like the bow, so now I can shoot whatever I want, and I'm still shooting Expedition. I mean,
right.
The X-Lite's the best bow I ever shot. I mean, I've shot Matthews, shot Hoyt, I shot them all. I do a lot of 3D and stuff like that, and I shot Obsession bows for a while, and I really liked those. And this Expedition, it reminded me kind of the Obsessions. I liked speed, and these were fast bows, and they're different. Everybody shoots a Matthews or everybody shoots a Hoyt, and
Yeah.
I want to be a little bit different.
I don't shoot those gay ones either.
Yeah,
Watch that derogatory.
People, they talk a lot of junk when I go to these bow shoots. They're like, "My God, you got to put that thing away. You're gonna put somebody's eye out. It's gonna blow up." Well, I've been known to push them to the limits a time or two, and I've had a couple come unwound in my hands from trying to get a little too many pounds out of. Trying to push that 80-pound mark, and you're on 70-pound limbs.
Yeah.
One too many twists in the bus cable. So.
Yeah, that can get ugly.
I used to shoot a high country Excalibur, and they had these things called speed balls that you would screw into the string for added perimeter weight. I had that thing shooting so bad it cracked the wood handle right off the bow. It was vibrating so bad. And the guy that owned the shop, he's like, "Dude, you're really pushing that thing." I'm like, "Yeah, what? 305 is not bad." And we're talking, this was like the early 90s. When I was shooting that bow. 305. I'm like, "Yeah, man, that thing's screaming." So
did you shoot their arrows too?
Serious?
Yeah, you shoot arrows. You said.
Yeah. No, did you shoot High Country's arrows?
Oh, me? No.
Yeah.
No. I was shooting ACEs or ACC.
Because they had their own arrows, their speed arrows they called them, where you could shoot so under spine that it just scared the shit out of you.
Yeah, no, like I said, man, I was shooting AEE light hyper lights or what the hell they were called. They were like a carbon aluminum hybrid. Dude, it was the 90s. That's like the shit before they had gold tips and warheads and all that.
What is that? Easton Full Metal Jackets were like that.
Yeah,
I think their Full Metal Jackets were like that. Carbon.
Yeah, the shop I worked in when I was setting bows up, we sold the Easton stuff, and man, it was they were like top of the line back then. Because the only other one that was out there for competition against you was Beeman, and they had those over freaking knocks. So when they went through your rest, they bumped the rest on the Tiger Tough and send the arrow up on the tumbly. I'm like going way back, but yeah.
It's hard to look at squash and take them serious with those stupid shades.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Macho Man.
Yeah. Where's Elizabeth?
Hey Brett, let me just tell you something. I got more comments in here that I look cool as hell. You look like a freaking little hood rat with your platinum on there.
Oh, there he goes.
Uh-oh.
Hey, SA.
Hey, by the way, those tattoos are not real. They're just those.
Yeah,
those
I drew these. I
hemp-
drew these on.
those
I drew these on.
hemp ones, you put on there.
Michael, we got a question from. Wyatt, we got a question from Michael. How did you set up your GoPros to a remote?
Yeah.
So you can you can do it through the app. You download the GoPro app. Then there's a specific remote that you can get. I think it's like $50 maybe, something like that. And it'll run, I don't know how many GoPros it'll run. I think it can run, I don't know, it might run 8 or 10 of them at a time. But it runs 3, no problem. You literally, you click on your remote, click on your GoPros, they sync up through Bluetooth, they have their Bluetooth, and they all link, and I usually hit record to test it, make sure it's good, and then hit it again, they turn off, and you're ready to roll.
Now I got some final questions, at least regarding just your state specific question before we start wrapping up for tonight. When does the hunting season start and end basically for you guys?
So we usually go the last weekend in September through December 31st. So it'll usually come in September 28th-ish, somewhere in there, 28, 29, 27, somewhere. And then it runs through December 31st. Now we have a mountain heritage season, they call it. So that's flintlocks, and I think you can do recurve longbow, stuff like that. No modern equipment. And I think that's an extra week or so, a few days after the season finishes. It's like that first week in January, I believe.
So that must be like what our muzzleloader season used to be like.
Yeah. Yeah, now our muzzleloader, you can use whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's how our muzzleloader is too. Like you can use it's muzzleloaders now are basically a rifle. Yeah, but
yeah, ours
I don't think you can use. Like I said, I don't gun hunt enough, so I'm not up on the up with no rules. But I don't think you can use a straight wall here as a substitution for a muzzleloader. But don't quote me on it because like I said, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
can hear now.
Yeah,
we have a question from Bitter Root Beer. Okay, sorry if this is redundant. I was late, but does West Virginia have any open country to hunt, spot, and stock?
Yeah, yes, I do. Especially if you get down more southern part of the state on those big strip jobs. There's a lot of open country down that way. You get some big fields around in the northern part of the state too, but they're just it's a mix. It's a mix.
What are the tags like for price wise for non-residents?
They're really not bad. I know a couple guys that I work with are from Arkansas and stuff, and they get a tag. They're a couple $100, I'm pretty sure. Now the additional ones, it was pretty high. I thought he told me it was like $30-some or $40 for like a doe tag or something, that's a whole nother thing. So we went from that's what I was telling you earlier when we chatted last week. We went from a $3 state last year, or a $3 state the year before, to a $2 state last year. So they took away a tag. And there's so many other things. I mean, this is a whole topic we could get on, and we could run for hours on this because I have a lot to say about it. But another thing for another conversation for another time. But it's I think once you take the tag away, you can't get it back. So it's a disappointment really to me and whatever. But for as far as out of state goes, it's not a hard state as far as to get a tag. It's not that expensive, I don't think. But as far as I think it's overpriced for the does. I think they need to open up the doe because you can go down a back road here and see 100 does, and you might see 3 scrub bucks in that 100. So like there's definitely a imbalance there. I think they need to promote the doe hunting here a little bit better than they do. So that could be they probably should look at that. I would say as far as for out of state, because that'd bring more revenue in for them if you're a little lower on some of your stuff, especially does. I mean, not saying bucks, but at least does. No reason to pay $30-$50 to shoot a doe. I mean,
Yeah.
$10. It's like a $10 tag for us to get an extra doe stamp. So I don't know why you wouldn't make it $10 for out of state too. I mean, promote that a little bit more.
Now, my last and final question for you is: anyone that wants to come hunt West Virginia, or they haven't thought about it, or they're trying to prepare for it, what's one thing? So for me, I've never hunted West Virginia, but it's on my top 5 list of states that I want to hunt. What would you tell me that I need to start preparing for and start looking for to come hunt West Virginia?
Are you gonna rifle hunt or bow hunt?
Bow hunt.
I would say make sure you have a saddle. Probably, I would recommend that because you're probably not going to be here for very long. Something where you can be mobile, something where you can pack it for miles to hike back in somewhere that's going to be steep terrain, and you probably not want to be lugging a big summit climber. So I would say probably definitely need to have something where you can hunt mobile. Good set of hiking boots because it's steep. So I mean, I would definitely a good set of hiking boots. I mean, that's really it. I mean, know how to use your mapping as far as like your Onyx, your hunt stand, or whatever you're using. Spartan or whatever they have out now. That's a big one to be able to maximize, because there's so many little nooks and crannies where you can kind of maximize like where your best shot at seeing deer are going to be, or having a funnel or a buck come through, or locating some sign, or finding a bedding area or something like that. Just having an idea before you get here, like, okay, these are some definitely spots I need to be looking at, as soon as I get there. And then you'll probably find others going to those spots, because that's usually how it goes.
I have a question from Michael here. What is your favorite firearm to shoot in general?
Oh, it's probably gonna be my coyote setup. I run a fully defense 224 Valkyrie.
There you go.
That's probably
That's cool. That's a cool round.
Yeah,
probably my favorite. I got a 6.5 Grendel too, but you're not allowed to hunt here at night with it has to be 22 caliber.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't understand that all the way, but yes, I run that. I like that 224 Valkyrie. It's a cool little round. It'll take down some big stuff.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to the rapid fire segment here, Wyatt, does anybody else have any final questions? Anyone from watching the show, or you guys, Dave, Johnny, Squatch, any final questions for him before we get to our rapid fire segment?
No,
not that
I can think of.
I think I'm good.
No? All right. And some might pop up here during the comments while we're going through these, Wyatt. So let's start off. Besides hunting, do you have any other hobbies or interests?
Fishing.
Yeah.
Fishing and pipelining. That's about it.
What wild game animal is on your bucket list to hunt?
Oh, definitely an elk.
Nice.
Mule deer.
Michael asks, have you ever hunted New York?
No, I have not.
Squatch lives there, so I don't think anybody wants to go up there. People only want to go to New York because Michael's there.
He'd come
I've
up.
heard there's a couple. I've heard there's a couple good ones running around in New York.
There's some real good ones running around in New York.
Yeah. What is a wild game animal that you want to try eating in the world? Yeah, the whole world.
Had some African stuff, and it was pretty good. Probably. I'm not sure. That's a good one. Maybe. Probably snake. I've not had snake. rattlesnake or something.
I don't know if I could do that.
I could.
Oh, I would totally do that.
They say it tastes like chicken, so I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna say snake because I've not had it. I had moose burgers here this last year. A guy brought some moose. They're pretty good.
Nice.
I've never had.
What has been your favorite state you've hunted and why?
Favorite state? It's probably gonna be West by God right here. Yeah, it's probably gonna be West Virginia. I mean, I just like it just because it's where I grew up. It's where I've hunted my whole life. I'm accustomed to the terrain, the land, so I like hunting here. I'm in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, PA. I've not hunted Maryland, even though it touches us, and it's like literally right out the back. It used to be right out the back door. Big deer in Maryland, but not made it to it.
Michael asks, have you ever ate possum?
No, I have not. I've shot a lot of them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Has anyone tried possum? I
We just
haven't.
has Michael ate possum.
We
I
shot
feel like
one.
you'd just be eating trash at that point.
We shot one the other night, and it looked like a small dog. We weren't sure if it was a coyote or a possum. Hey, I shot with that 224 Valkyrie. He took it like a champ. Spun it around, flopped her. I said, yep, pancaked him. Then all of a sudden, he just like shakes his head, gets up, and walks off. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I saw half your innards blow out the other side. Like, how'd you just eat that? I mean, I tell you how big his possum is. It's huge.
Yeah.
Michael said that's some random ass question I asked. He said no, he hasn't tried eating it. Flavors of Forest said they would not eat possum. I don't know if I'd try that, honestly.
It's
Put
probably
some of that
pretty
Bigfoot breath on it.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
spicy garlic.
Justin said,
horseradish.
I've hunted Maryland
Yeah.
and most deer I've ever seen in one sit. Man, Maryland is an up and coming state, man. That's one state. It's a sleeper state. I want to get out there badly.
It's right there by West Virginia, man. So it's,
I know.
It's all good.
Michael asks, what state do you want to go hunt elk in? What?
So I just had a buddy that shot one in Arizona.
Yeah, they're in
Up in the heat. Up in the heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was in Arizona. Yeah.
Yep.
And it was a hammer.
Nice.
So maybe Arizona.
Yeah.
What is the top state you want to hunt next?
Utah. Probably I'd like to go out west, hit like Iowa, Illinois. I'd like to go out there. I thought about it this year, but I've not. I say west, but like Midwest.
Nick Loving commented, backwoods bow hunting, baby. Michael asked, have you ever gone moose hunting, Wyatt?
No, I haven't.
Oh, wow. He says, I've got picked for the lottery in Vermont in October, but I didn't get one. But it was an amazing trip.
Oh, that's cool.
No kidding.
Oh,
That's
man,
awesome.
fun.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Well, you see, or not, to be able to go and get picked, that's freaking sweet.
Yeah.
If you could pick anybody to go on a hunting trip or share a campfire with one time, who would that person be?
Man. I'm gonna say probably just because I did him dirty and I didn't know who he was and I didn't give him the time of day, and he's like, hey man, how's it going? And I'm like, oh good man, have a good one. Probably gonna be Tim Wells because I blew him off at the Great American Outdoor Show, and he was working the Fox Pro booth, and we were going to see another guy that we knew there that had a booth set up, and it was like early, show had just opened, and he's like sitting at the Fox Pro booth and nobody's around. He's like, how's it going, guys? And I was like, oh, going good, man. give him a little wave, and just kept on rolling. We come back like 10 minutes later, and there's like this big line, like 100 people long. And one of my other buddies is like, dude, I just got my autograph by Tim Wells. And yeah, we walked by, and I was like, yeah, well, we told him hi, but we told him bye in the same breath. So,
Hi, bye.
yeah.
If you could bring one loved one that passed away to go on a hunt with or share a campfire with one time, who would that be and why?
Probably gonna have to be my grandpa, just for old time's sakes. Yeah, because he would.
I feel like it's always the grandpa. Like it was the grandpas that brought us into the hunting environment.
My grandma used to hype me up about hunting though. So I mean, she was a big fan. I mean, she really pushed the food plots and the whole. She loved. I planted a food plot outside her house, and she'd be like, "Oh, we had deer out there tonight, Wyatt. Had some deer out there. Buck came through. I saw a buck for you." So that would be either one.
Nice.
How do you think we can get more people involved in hunting?
I don't know. It's a dying. I feel like it's a dying art. People are all like, "Oh, killing animals are bad," But it's you have to have it. And I don't really know. Everybody wants to just sit at the house and play video games and
TikTok.
Oh, they don't like to go out, they don't like to go outside and do anything. So like I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you preserve it other than it's got to start young. I mean, you have to raise your kids and instill in them what you want. So I mean, I've got a little girl on the way. So
congratulations.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. So hopefully I'll have a little hunting and fishing buddy here. She's coming in September, so this hunting season's gonna be questionable of what gets hunted. Like middle of September to like September 16th. So I got like not very long after.
Right.
You didn't read
the wrapped around your finger, man, because my daughter.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
She just looked at me one way, and I'm just like, "Yep, okay."
Yeah,
I'll sleep in.
I was going to say you didn't read the Valentine's memes. It says 9 months from now is hunting season. Be careful what you do on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
These kids these days, in my opinion, have you guys ever seen the movie Benchwarmers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That one guy that plays where he's like he hates the sun. I was like, the sun is bad. And he's like shivering up in his closet. That's how most kids remind me of these days.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
That's how I perceive you, Brett, because you're a ginger and you burn easy in the sun,
You know what? Listen here, motherfucker. I'm tired of all these ginger shit jokes, okay? You're fired. Now we're done with that outburst.
You can't fire me. I quit.
Yeah.
Wyatt, we have a question from Michael. He asked, how about getting more youth into hunting?
I thought the archery in the schools thing was a good deal. One thing I wish they did, and I don't know if I'm sure they did. They offered, so when I was in middle school, the DNR came and did your hunter safety in school. They offered a hunter safety class that you could permission slip home and get your parents to sign, and you could get your hunter safety card while you were in school. It was like a teacher chaperone thing. We had like probably 20 kids that did it. There was boys and girls that did it. It wasn't just all boys. And they did the whole class like a 2 or 3 day thing. You took like so many hours out of your day and you had to make up your work or whatever, but they don't offer that anymore. And I think that's just one thing right there. If you offered that probably right there would help, because that would get, if it was 20 kids, that's 20 more that you didn't have before, that maybe if they had their hunter safety card that maybe they'd make their parents take them hunting or fishing, or they'd get into it later on, if nothing else.
We talked about that on last show or a couple shows ago.
Last show and the show before that.
Yeah, it makes life easier on the parents because you do it right there. They send their kids to school already,
Yeah.
and they offer it right there. So it's great to see. Are they still running that in West Virginia, or is that no longer a thing?
To my knowledge, no. No, maybe a couple schools do it, but it wasn't, and maybe it was just our school that did it. But I know a lot of people that said that the same thing that I didn't go to school with, that they got them when they were in school. I mean, DNR officer come and gave the whole thing, brought a gun, and you did your whole safety course there, like the whole thing. It was a good deal. You learned a lot too. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Dalton Boggs, what's up, Wyatt?
Oh, what's up, Dalton?
Michael asks, when did you go to Harrisburg show?
So I didn't go this year. Sirius had a booth last year in 23. Yeah, no, 24. Yeah, so I was there in 24.
All right, last and final question in the rapid fire segment. What do you think we as fellow hunters could or should do to improve the hunting community as a whole?
I don't know. I mean, just be nice to each other. You know, not everybody's going to be shooting 200-inch deer, so there's no need to. I mean, it's all cool to joke and stuff about with guys. You know, if you know them and you know they shot one that had a little bit of ground shrinkage or whatever. But I mean, don't be dogging a guy because he shot a 4-point. You know, if he wants to shoot a 4-point, let him shoot a 4-point. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, if that's what he wants to waste his tag on, like, that's fine. It might have got him excited. You know, his blood might have got pumping, and that may be the only deer he had coming if he even had a camera out. You know, maybe you don't run cameras. Maybe you're just out there you wanted to try hunting for the first time, and then you know you're proud of you shot a 3-point or a 7-point or whatever it is, and then you post it on social media and people just rip you apart about it. And like, I don't ever try to get into that.
Yeah, I think you're right, Wyatt. I think a lot of the hazing kind of needs to take a seat and back burner. It's one thing when you know like your friends and stuff like that. These guys are so-called my friends, but they haze me all the fucking time. So I don't know.
We don't call it hazing. We call it educating.
Look, right. I was really polite before. I mean, I was going to say when he said he's going to have a daughter that we know what it's like to have a daughter with Brett in our group, you know?
Yeah.
So
redhead stepchild.
But that's not hazing. That's not hazing. That's
called family love.
Family love. That's what
a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You guys suck. Except for you, Wyatt. We have a question from Dalton. When are you going to teach me how to kill a big one, Wyatt?
Yeah.
Whenever you come up here, bud.
Yeah.
Dalton, just follow his truck. If you know where he is, follow his truck. It's not that hard to kill a big one. Just go.
I thought Dalton was going to come hunt with me this year. I thought we were going to go kill something, you know, but he never, my phone never rang. Must have been broke, you know. He was shooting deer. My phone must have been broke, you know. So.
He's got to lease the property next to yours.
Yeah, probably.
That's funny.
Look in the comments from Blame.
Helen Keller can see my posted signs.
Dude, nobody would buy that one.
No.
Flavors of the Forest comment. Awesome. We could put Brett's face on our garlic ginger bottle.
Yeah, like a redheaded horse face.
God.
Oh man, what an awesome show. John, David, Squatch, do you guys have any final questions for Wyatt?
No, I think we're good.
No,
man.
I think I'm all set, man.
Yeah. No, it's good having you on, man.
Yeah, it was great being on here, guys. Maybe we can do it again sometime.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to because we're gonna talk about those 3 to 2 buck tags.
Oh, we need to. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, and then our DNR as well. That's a whole nother segment.
Oh yeah.
Dalton says we will do it this year, Wyatt.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yep.
David, how can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook as PSE Mobile Hunter.
Squatch.
You guys can always find me here on Whitetail Advantage, on 8:30s on Sundays and Tuesdays with these clowns here. You can find me with the Garden State Outdoorsman, Mike Nitre and Frank Mastika and all the rest of the guys out there. You'd always find me at Outdoors and More in the Squatch on Instagram and my own YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
John, how about you?
You can find me on Instagram at either Nitro Outdoors or Johnny_Nitro_Night. And that's where I hang out.
Wyatt, how about you, my man?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. It's Wyatt_Adkins_outdoors, or on our YouTube page with Sirius TV. Be sure you go give us a subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to reach 100,000 followers, and we're right there knocking on the door. So
Nice.
appreciate any of the subscribers that have not subscribed to go catch some videos. All 24 seasons posted. So it's all.
What's the name of it again?
It's Sirius TV. SIRIUS TV.
All right, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to subscribe right now. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, guys. Wyatt, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're a busy guy, man. So it means a lot for you to come on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I really appreciate y'all having me. It's been a blast.
Yeah, it's been a blast, man. Well, let's stay in touch. Okay, brother?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Laters, man.
Well, everyone, that's going to conclude another episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. I want to say thank you to everyone that's tuning in for tonight's live show, and thank you to everyone out there listening to this podcast. Now, if this show made you laugh, made you think, gave you a new perspective, please hit that like and subscribe button. We'd be greatly appreciative. If you have a Carbon TV account, if you can head over there and give us a positive score, that'd be greatly appreciative as well. The audio versions of our podcast gets released every Monday and Wednesday at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, in the hunting season, at October through December, we only do a live show every Sunday, and they only get released on Mondays at 5 a.m. If you want to be a guest on our next live show, or you want myself, anyone from the team, or everyone from the team from Whitetail Advantage to be a guest on your next live show, or if you want to see who our upcoming guests are going to be on the show, head to our website and submit a request, and check everything out on our website, www.whitetailadvantage.com. I also want to say thank you to all the companies that's partnered up with us here at Whitetail Advantage. We're greatly appreciative of everything you guys are doing with us. We can't say thank you enough. Last but not least, put that cord in that slot machine. We'll see everyone next time.